It really, really stinks. I mean, quite honestly, if you would have told me that LSU would have held Wake Forest tonight to 3 runs, I think you won. But you didn't. A lot of times at the plate, you do not execute. Trey Morgan, I mean, that run is massive. That run is massive. So massive that even if Gavin Dugas would have come up there and rolled into the 5-4-3 double play, that you still would have scored the run, the game would still be tied. You had Ty Floyd, who, yes, I will admit, in the bottom of the 6th, had a really, really tough outing. But arguably and probably the best performance of Ty Floyd's career came tonight as he was absolutely dealing. Absolutely dealing. You know, I look at the bottom of the 4th as an example. He gives off a leadoff single. He gets Kurtz, Wilkin, and Johnson, arguably 3 of the best hitters in America right now, to strike out swinging. He also, you look at the bottom of the 3rd. He goes 1, 2, 3 after you get 2 runs. But you at the plate tonight looked lost. This is not, in my personal opinion, what you did on the mound. It's 1,000% what you did at the plate. It seemed like you didn't have a game plan in place. At times at the plate, you didn't, I guess, really know what to expect. But another lefty that LSU has seen in the postseason, I guess you should say, quote unquote, that's really good, that somewhat does some pretty good things to you. Wake Forest bullpen absolutely delivered for them. They do not give up a run after the top of the 3rd. So it is what it is. You got to execute at the plate. That is the bottom line. But let me start off by saying this. I do not come on these shows, whether it is a post-game football show that we do. I do not come on the show basketball, baseball, whatever. I never come in here and argue about officiating or umpiring. But tonight was the worst I've ever seen. It was, you want to have a tight zone, okay, wide zone, whatever. But I will continue to say it as I was going off all night on Twitter. The umpire behind the plate sucked. I mean, if you're around kids, I apologize if you don't use that language around them. He stunk. There's not one thing that you could say, about tonight that would legitimately give you the inclination from the top of the 1st inning to the bottom of the top of the 9th that would give you any hope whatsoever that the guy behind the plate knew exactly or anything that he was doing. I will agree with Matuk on this one. The NCAA should be ashamed of themselves. From top to bottom, the entire institution of college baseball should be outright ashamed of themselves for what we saw tonight. Multiple times, even with Thatcher Hurd or Ty Floyd, and I will even give Wake the benefit of the doubt because it was for them too. They were not getting calls. And you would throw a fastball high and tight or high into the outside that would be called a ball, and the very next pitch it's called a strike. That does not, however, excuse what you did at the plate. Jordan Thompson goes 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. You struck out a lot tonight. Like, I'm looking at this. Dylan Cruz strikes out twice. Travinsky strikes out a couple times. Trey Morgan wasn't that bad, had the double, but his play at 3rd is going to go down to, it did not lose you the game because there's so many things in sports that wins and loses you games. But my God, I go to the top of the 7th. Thompson Cade, Pearson Cade, Cruz walked, and then White hit the shot back up the middle that would hit off the pitcher's glove. 1-4-3, you're out of the inning. But this is where I think that you will make the judgment call on yourself of, did Jay make the right move? And it's tough because for 5 straight innings, Floyd dealt. And quite honestly, not all of this is on Jay, because the umpire behind the plate, not only did he suck, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go home lonely. I mean, I have no sympathy, zero sympathy for someone who gets paid $100,000 plus a year to suck that bad. But the bottom of the 6th, Hawk, Bennett, Kurtz, the 3 toughest guys arguably in their lineup, and then you got Wilkin. So you walked the first 3 guys in the top of the 5th. Hawk would advance on the errant pickoff play. Bennett, Kurtz would walk. Wilkin would RBI back up the middle. You get a double play by Thompson. The 6 unassisted to Trey Morgan. Corona got hit by a pitch. Lee would walk. Thatcher Hurd did come in for Wilkin. Let me back up there. Lee would walk, and Sinceri would strike out swinging. That changed the momentum of the game. You never got it back, not once. I started, circled it. Not once did you get the momentum back after the bottom of the 6th. You just didn't. Because you would come back up to the plate, 1, 2, 3, bam, 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 you're out. You come up in the 8th, your last real shot, you can't execute. And quite honestly, if we're being real, you have runners on 1st and 3rd, no outs. No outs in the top of the 8th. Even with the Morgan blunder at the plate, even with it, you cannot hit into a double play on a 2-0 count. It can't happen. Like, bottom of the 8th, I'm not going to get on Thatcher Hurd. Okay? He gave up a run. It was his only earned run that he gave up on the night. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to get on him, really. Can't. Because quite truthfully, you should have had a easily 2-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th. You should have had a 2-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th. So, look, I mean, you dominated on the bump, really. I mean, truthfully, you looked really good at the play. I mean, really good on the mound. At the plate, you did not. I don't want to hear about shadows. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear about lefty. I don't want to hear about their bullpen being deep. They got you. Now, here's the thing. You're not done. Newsflash. You're not done. You got Tennessee tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and relook. But you got Tennessee next. What can you do? What can you do? It's win or go home at this point. It is win or go home at this point. So now, and this is why I mentioned last night, you empty the tank tonight. You got to beat Tennessee. You got to turn right around and beat Wake Forest twice. Can you do it? Can you do it? And I will tell you, opinion-wise, God willing, I mean, because you'll play tomorrow. Thursday, I'm assuming, is when you'll go. I don't know what you do on the mound. I have no clue. Quite honestly, I don't have a lot of clue what you do tomorrow other than I think you're going to go with Coleman. So, Tennessee's got the arms, man. Do you? Throw everything out that you've seen from the season. Throw everything out. It doesn't matter now. Doesn't matter. You got to unload everything that you have tomorrow. And yeah, you're one game away from going home. The Jello shot things are great. I love it. Glad that Ty Graves did it. We share it. I love it. Bottom line, fuck them Jello shots. I mean, screw them. All right. I don't buy into this. Alex Cormier, let's get to a couple comments. Alex Cormier says Blake gets a wrap. I don't agree with you. I just don't agree with you. All right, let me say this. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. If you're with us on Facebook, hit that like button, hit the share to all those social media groups, share to all those social media pages. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, notification bell. If you're watching us on Fubo TV, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. If you wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe there as well. Our good friends over at BetOnline, you want to continue to bet the World Series, do that for them by doing us a favor. Go over to betonline.ag. Use your mobile device to sign up today. Use the promo code BELIEVE50. That is BELIEVE50, BLEAV50 to get your 50% off welcome bonus. All right. Shane Gann says, bring the damn bats. Well, you're going to have to bring them because you're in trouble. Robert Law says, can we talk about the left fielder for Wake's technique for catching beads at Mardi Gras is perfect. Rodney Kraft says, why not pitch hit for 8 and 9? Well, I don't mind you. Look, here's the thing. Thompson's played all year long. He has not come out. Whether you've ruled anybody, I get that he's 0-3 at the plate at that point. He's got 3 strikeouts. He's going for the golden sombrero, and he got it. But you have not seen, this is the truth. Go and check me. You have not seen anybody this season other than Jordan Thompson at short or anybody in center field other than Dylan Cruz. Can you do something? But my question would be, who do you replace him with? Pearson is interesting to me because he has his moments where he's hot. The only thing that I would interject there would be, and you're not going to like this, and I know a lot of you don't like this at all, but you do have some options, not many. So do you leave in Pearson that is been red hot? He was red hot in the regional. He was hot in the supers. Do you leave him in that situation? The other argument that you would make is if you go to AKA Paxton Kling, or the only thought, not saying it's just a thought. I'm not saying I would do this. The only thought that I had would be to go to Bear Jones. He is a human being that if he connects on one, then he can send it up to the bleachers. Now, before you say in the chat, well, Blakey would have struck out. He also is, if I'm not mistaken, second in the team in walks. He's coming off the bench cold. You hadn't seen him in a while, but he can also send a baseball to the moon. That son of a bitch would go around the moon 3 times and then come back to planet Earth. But it's just a thought. Pearson and Thompson coming up in the top of the ninth does not lose you the game. You want me to tell you what loses you the game? You ready? You not capitalizing when you need to. You not capitalizing when you need to. That is the issue. You can't let the top of the 5th happen. You can't strike out, ground out, fly out to or get a single line drive, and then you can't fly out. You know what else you can't do? You can't leave guys on. It is what it is. Look, and for what it's worth, Wake Forest, and I don't think I have to say this, but Wake Forest is a really, really, really damn good team. They're a really freaking good team. They got you by 1. Now you go to a point where you're in a guys. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You're in a dogfight. Now, have teams lost in the College World Series and come back and won a national title? Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. Buffalo Soldier says Travinski's at bat in the ninth was awful. He walked, if I'm not mistaken, and he didn't bat in the ninth. Travinski got on base on the air. I mean, it's really not that bad if we're being real, because if you're talking about the eighth, Trey Morgan doubles into right field. You got the error or infield single. I'm pretty sure they scored it. Now, y'all double check me on this. I'm pretty sure they scored it in error. But then Beloso hits the hard ground ball to third base. I mean, you're putting the ball in play. You know what is better than you've been doing? Striking out all night. Cruz went down twice. Again, here, like you hitting into two double plays. That can happen. When you got runners on with one out, that cannot happen. It happened twice. The top of the second, which is it feels like an eternity ago, but the top of the second, Travinski strikes out. Beloso and Dugas walks. Joe Bear hits into but here's the thing. I mean, he hits the ball. I wrote this down. I forget the damn dude's name who was announcing tonight, but said Joe Bear's at bat and the double play is a ball that's hit off the bat 110 miles an hour. Joe Bear, 4.63 double play. That can happen. You want to talk about backbreakers? That is a backbreaker. The bottom of the sixth is the backbreaker. And what's crazy is, here's the interesting thing to me. Here's the interesting thing. You lost to a lefty in Arkansas in a lot of the same fashion, in the sense of Wake Forest really only had one big inning. I mean, guys, if you can't, with this lineup, if you can't get 3 runs and you had all the opportunity in the world to do it, you did not deserve to win tonight. I mean, 3 innings and 1 earned run from Thatcher Hurd. I mean, sign me up. Ty Floyd, guys. Ty Floyd. Make sure I don't fleece him. Okay. Make sure I say it correctly. But he had 10 Ks through 5 innings. And 15 outs in 5 innings. 10 of those were from strikeout. 10 of them. Oh, boy. Can't roll into 2 double plays, man. Cannot roll into 2 double plays. Jason Dooley says, I am done blaming the umps. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You must overcome. I'm not blaming the umpire because, again, the umpire did not get you in a situation where you grounded into 2 double plays. However, you 1,000%, 1,000% need to blame him. He was so erratic and chaotic tonight. There's no other way to put it other than he sucked. It's like the Kurt Angle theme song. You suck. You suck. I mean, go get a Jell-O shot, for crying out loud. Go get a blowjob. I don't care what you do. Like, I don't care what the guy behind the plate has to do. But again, and in case you missed it the first time, let me just say it again. The NCAA, who is awful at what they do, whether it be NIL, portal, whatever, they don't know and never know what they're doing. They got their thumbs so far up their butts, they just don't give a damn. They should be outright embarrassed about what happened tonight. When you have 2 former major league dudes, whether you like the dudes that called the game tonight or not, I don't really care. They've played more baseball than you have. That is the fact. When they are up there, not screaming, but really ripping on the guy behind the plate because he's ass, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. You can blame left-handed pitching all you want to, but Hartle came out in the 6th. After the 6th, their left-handed pitcher for Wake came out of it. This is what you would do. You ready? Strikeout, walk. Measly little ground ball. Massey comes in the 7th. Their closer comes into the 7th. And in the top of the 8th, he gets rocked around a little bit. And then they bring in Manessa. Manessa. Couldn't read my handwriting. He gives up the double. You get an error. Morgan gets hosed out at the plate. Double play. They made the plays that they needed to make. You don't have the dudes, man. Right. You don't have I'm reading this. Never mind. I'm reading one of these comments. You don't have the dudes to do that, Philip. Paige Lemoyne says, I think the coaching was poor. You don't send Trey Morgan. Trey was not sent. On the replay, you could tell Trey wasn't sent. Josh Jordan did not send Trey. Trey went on his own. Orgy says, your second run was luck. I don't care what it is. Like, I really don't care what it is. Jason says, hey, Blake, is Jordan Thompson ever going to hit the ball again? Just asking. I mean, sometimes you have days like that. Jamie Lear on YouTube says he had all the hitters second-guessing every pitch. No question. No question. Rick says when Floyd went out, his lips were, that guy was calling that a strike all night. Quote unquote. And that and it was called a ball. Yeah, it was not. They guys. I mean, I don't. There's nothing in my studio that I could use that would show how small the strike zone was at times. I mean, I got a can of dip. This is how big the strike zone was, and it moved. It did like the figure 8. You know how when your screensaver, when you had old Windows, dude was ass, man. He was so bad. T. Coon Cortez says Ty struck out 2 of those hitters that drew walks in the inning that got us 2 runs. Justin says that's his BFF. Blake won't say anything about Jordan Thompson. Justin, that's a stupid, very stupid comment. I don't understand that. He had the golden sombrero. Again, somebody in here tell me who you've seen play short all year long. You want Gavin Guidry to go out there? I think Gavin Guidry is going to be a good dude. You're in the College World Series against the best team in the country, or arguably the best team in the country. Kind of proved it tonight that they were the best team in the country. And you want a guy like a Gavin Guidry to go out there who hasn't picked up a bat in months, and you want him to run him out there and pitch and pitch hit for him and play for him for what? For what? They're not going to go away from Thompson. These are the dudes that you have. Your BFF was the only one that defensively was worth a damn tonight, rolling the double play for you. Oh, well, Blake, he struck out. Well, so did your future number 1 overall pick. He went down twice to lead off the game. He did not, with all due respect, even though he was not good at the plate tonight, he did not come up to the plate with runners in scoring positions and not deliver. It's not on him. You can blame any one individual player on this team. but it's not an individual player that lost you this game. The team collectively lost you this game. Joe Bears at bat in the ninth was a good summary of this. Can't disagree. Shane Portillo on Facebook says, I completely forgot about screensavers until you said that. I don't know what that means. Travis says, Wake Forest pitcher was on meth. Yeah, he was. Let's talk about that dude. He was geeking. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. And I don't know. So, again, let me throw this out there. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share as well. What I don't understand, and at least I'm just an idiot, which maybe I am, but the last time I checked, even if there's not anybody on base, now I went and looked at this. You can't be flipping your glove and hitting the ball with your other hand up in the air when you're on the rubber. A balk is always considered a balk. But again, when that Rudy Poo came in, the one that looked like he was on crack, the crack monkey, Roland, it doesn't matter what he looks like. He strikes the first two guys out that he sees. It doesn't matter if he looks like he's on crack. I mean, he could be doing all the weed in America right now with Willie Nelson and the horse. Snoop Dogg could be playing in the background. And it does not matter what he's doing when you come up there and not execute. They're a good team. You should be better. You are better. I mean, you are better individually. Corey says it was an individual ump. Well, they've been bad all weekend. I mean, they've been all bad all College World Series. Timmy Martin says the realization is that we don't have the pitching to come out of the losers bracket. Well, if we want to transition and talk about that for just a minute. Look. Now let me just very quickly. That way I'm not saying anything wrong here. Let me see. Because I want to make sure we got the time correctly for tomorrow. Yeah, so June the 20th, LSU and Tennessee play at 6 p.m. in an elimination game. So 6 p.m. elimination game tomorrow. So we'll be back here and doing it again. You're going to have to be massive, man. I do not know who Tennessee will throw. I would assume that they throw the same guy that they did game 3 against Southern Miss. Chase Burns will not be available for them, but they do have arms. Your guys are you're going to have to go to Ackenhouse. I mean, guys, you've thrown, well, technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you throw 5 guys in 2 days. Now that you're going to have to rely on, whether you like it or not, you're going to have to rely on Riley Cooper more than likely is going to have to come back. Javen Coleman's probably going to have to come back tomorrow. And because you have not seen him in a couple of weeks, I would assume, just an assumption, this is not, I'm not saying this is what I would do, but just going based off of what Jay Johnson has said over the last 2 weeks, and considering he did go to Blake Money in the Super Regional when Skeens went out, I would assume that you would see Blake Money. And you're going to have to ride with some of those guys. I'm assuming you would see Gavin Guidry. I'm assuming you will see Nate Ackenhausen. Griffin Herring. Like, those guys are going to go. And you're a game away, man. I mean, you got to win 3. It's the bottom line. You got to win 3. That's it. You got to go on 3-game streak. You got to take it one game at a time. And I would tell them, look, doesn't matter that you got to play Wake Forest again. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is winning tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's the only thing. Make sure I don't pass this super chat. Jason Morgan sends a $4.99 via super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. If you do send us the supers, we will get to your questions first. So send them in. Send in 99 cents. I don't care. LSU, but Jason Morgan says LSU has fresh arms. Coleman, Ackenhausen, Cooper, Guidry, Money, Dutton, Collins, and Herring. And worst come to worst, Christian Little. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, got to go for broke, man. Got to go for broke. This is it. This is, I mean, yeah. Jordan Strahan says Skeen's going to end his LSU career too short of 202, isn't he? Maybe. I mean, but you're going to have to hit your way out of this, man. I mean, look, listen. Here's the true take, because here's where you would be tomorrow. So let's say, because we'll do the post-game show again tomorrow, here's where you're going to be tomorrow. If the guys go out there, Coleman, Cooper, Guidry, whoever is the guys that go out there tomorrow, doesn't matter who it is. If they shut down Tennessee, then and only then you will come out in here and say, okay, well, they did something that historically throughout the season they haven't done. But here's the truth. You're going to have to bang your way in there. Screw the pauses. Screw anything you want to say. You're going to have to hit your way to beat Tennessee. Bottom line, man. Because even if they come out, the take's not wrong of, oh, well, Blake, you were so wrong. This bullpen can do it. They can do it. They've shown that they can do it. They have literally gone out there and shown that they can do it. Can they? Will they? We don't know. But if you come out here tomorrow and say, okay, well, hey, bullpen did really good. The arms did really good. You didn't hit. I mean, you're going to have to score more than 2 runs tomorrow to beat Tennessee. Because the way that they just beat Wake Forest, the way that they beat Stanford is a lot the same way that they beat Stanford earlier today in Tennessee. Now, you would hope that this game will piss some of the guys off, and you go out there and you execute and you do what you need to do. But the one thing I do like in this is that your back's up against the wall. You got a lot of seniors on this team. You got a lot of All-Americans on this team. How do they respond when their back's up against the wall? How do they respond? Because you have not seen, quite really and truthfully, you have not seen them lose yet. They have not lost in the postseason. I'm not counting Hoover. How do they respond? You're about to find out. And I hope we beat the dog crap out of Tennessee. Send Tony Valles home. Jason Morgan with another super chat sends $9.99 super chat. Says Tennessee has thrown 9 pitchers. 5 have thrown double-digit pitch counts. I like that stat. Now, that's a stat for your ass. That is a stat for your ass. Thank you so much, Jason, again, for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate it. What I'm not going to do is this. You're not done. Mark Chasson says, the second says you're done. You're not done. You're not done. I mean, you've beaten Tennessee 3 out of 4 times. Skeens threw 2 of them. Okay, he threw half of them. He threw half of them. Byron Farmer says, I have no faith whatsoever, Blake, in the bullpen. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you. Jordan says, Livy comes to 1 game and we lose. Yeah, not on her, man. Not on her. With another $4.99 super chat and says, Jason Morgan says, now this is true. It's a good point. He says in 2017, they said LSU couldn't beat Oregon State 2 times, and they did. Now that's true. That's very true. He's not lying. Aaron, buddy, calm down. If you want his show, go do somewhere else. This is not his show. But thank you again for the super chats. And you're right. They had to beat him twice. So you're gonna have to get a Gilbert type performance. You're gonna have to get 2 Gilbert type performances. Gonna have to go off, man. And I don't, you're gonna have to go off. But he's not wrong here. I mean, this did happen. This 1,000% happened. Does this team have enough? The bottom line is this. Do you have enough? What does it mean to you? You are and I will use the pun in this one, you are a tiger backed into a corner. How do you come out and respond? I see all the comments. Blake, we don't have the arms in the bullpen. Who do you start tomorrow? Guys, quite honestly, it doesn't matter because everybody's got to be big. It doesn't matter who you start. Doesn't matter who comes out of the pen. Look, theoretically, everybody's got to do their jobs tomorrow. It's win or go home. And like we just mentioned, in 2017, you had to beat a team that was quite honestly invincible twice. And you did it. Now you come back into that same type of situation. Your bats have to get hot. You cannot strike out as many times as you struck out tonight. When you have runners on base with no outs on first and third, you can't make base running blunders. You can't roll into double plays. You can't have one out, get 2 walks, and then roll into another double play. Those things can't happen. Wake Forest is a really damn good team. Wake Forest is a very, very good team. How do you respond? Doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what anybody says. Doesn't matter any take that you hear tomorrow. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is can your bats get hot? Can your guys out of the pen, the guy that you start tomorrow, can they do enough? Can they do enough? Now, we saw in Game 3 of the regionals that Jay went with Riley Cooper. Now, this is a different situation. I would assume that Riley Cooper is going tomorrow. I don't know if he starts. I don't know. He threw a lot of pitches the other night. I'm sure that he will want to empty the tank and try to get you to advance to Wake Forest. I mean, because it doesn't matter. You can't think about tomorrow because if you think about tomorrow, you'll lose today. As the old saying goes, if you think about tomorrow, you will lose today. Doesn't matter what the umpires do, even though that guy tonight was a ball-headed scallywag. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. And so when I said last night or 2 nights ago, not on Father's Day, but 2 nights ago, you have to unload everything that you have against Wake Forest, you did. You should have. You tried. You failed. You failed. But they're in just the same amount. They're in the same type of situation that you are. Tennessee's in the same type of situation you are. The same thing that you're saying about yourself. Don't get this twisted now. They might have some better arms out of the pen, but they have the same questions. Who do you start tomorrow? Who do you start going out of the pen? You throw 9 guys. It's the same thing. But prime time tomorrow, it will be what it will be. Anthony JD says, I am counting the Tigers out, but it realistically got exponentially harder. Yeah, it's really hard. Matthew Daigle says, I went to 8 LSU games, and LSU hasn't lost a year. Only if I can get to Omaha. Y'all Venmo this man. Venmo this man. Put your Venmo inside of the chat, Matthew Daigle, and let the LSU fans, I mean, for crying out loud, if we can buy Jello shots, we can do that. Send this man. Send him for the next 2 weeks. Rick says, LOL, thanks for the laugh tonight, Blake. We hate that ball-headed scallywag. Yeah, he was a ball-headed scallywag. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I have no idea what else to say. Zach Ross says, we should have won tonight. Man, big sad. You should have, but you didn't execute. You didn't execute. All right. Let's do this. I still got to pay the bills around this thing. So how about my good friend Tyler Alexander over at eXp Realty? Let's talk about my good buddy Steve Bean and all the things that he's got going on at the North Shore. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk more about tomorrow. At the end of the show, we'll talk a little bit of football. We did do an interview with Jason Campbell, the former Auburn quarterback, Jason Campbell from Auburn. We will be releasing that tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that as well. Let's take a quick break. Let's reset. We're back next.
He will sell your house and find you a new. Well, Tyler's the man. He's here for you. If you want to buy or sell, well, it's not too late. Dial 955-0008. Just call 955-0008. Y'all call Tyler. He'll shoot you straight.
Tyler Alexander is a local realtor right here in the Denham Springs, Louisiana area, and he services the entire South Louisiana area as well. Tyler is ranked in the top 2% of eXp realtors in the entire state. Buying or selling a home can be very stressful, but Tyler will make that process stress-free for you and your family and provide a customer experience for you, not just a customer service. Give him a call or text today on his personal cell, 225-955-0008. That's 225-955-0008, and let him get your home sold or trans. Bayou Daiquiris at Bayou Bowl and Go is owned and operated locally by Steve and Lisa Bean. You can find them at 1512 North Highway 190 in Covington, Louisiana. That's 1512 North Highway 190 in Covington. The North Shore's first crawfish drive-thru is about to step it up another notch by bringing you drive-thru daiquiris as well. You can call in your order today at 985-888-1914, 985-888-1914, because you know what? Daiquiris and crawfish, it's a Louisiana thing.
We're back. I guess we should say not only daiquiris from my man Steve Bean, but also maybe my man needs to do some Jello shots. All right, everybody do us a favor, please. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor. It helps us show out a lot, helps us grow. Do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Jason Morgan with another $4.99 via Super Chat. Yes, you can, guys, send in Super Chats. Send 99 cents. Hell, I'll Venmo you back, but it gets your comment up. But $4.99 via Super Chat. He says, if you get to a winner take all versus Wake, Griffin Herring can give you a Gilbert type night. His off-speed stuff is nasty with a 93.5 mile per hour fastball from the left side. I don't know if you don't go to him tomorrow. You know, I don't think he started it all year. But yeah, you're going to need him. And here's the interesting thing that Jason brings up. I mean, I know that Jay has to somewhat think about the next day, but you kind of can't, man. Like, you can't. You cannot worry about another game with Wake Forest. You just got to beat Tennessee. You have to beat Tennessee. And You know, the only thing here would be the only thing. The only thing that would help you is if you won the next 2 games. And like Jason brought up, if you do win the next 2 games and you beat Tennessee and you beat Wake Forest in that first one, you would in turn probably see Paul Skeens again. Now, they would pitch louder, but you would also get Paul Skeens. It's what makes the College World Series so fun. It's what makes the College World Series so fun. It sucks that your team has lost, and lost against, and what would be quite honestly and arguably the crown, or what some would feel as the crown for tonight of who has really been the best team in America all year. So it's interesting. I am glad that Skip is there with Jay, though. And to the ones that know, you know. Stephen Lowe says, we lost that game in the top of the 8th. Man, so brutal. We pitched outstanding tonight. Multiple places that you lost that game. Multiple places. Eric Ladeau says, this Aaron dude is annoying as hell. I wish we could mute him. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and block him. We'll go ahead and block him. Trey Patton says, having to win 3 games in 3 days is tough. Well, you've done it before. Thank you for the 199 Super Chat. It is tough. It 1,000% is tough. I mean, Trey's 1,000% accurate. It's deflating. I mean, I know that I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. You feel deflated, and you can't worry about that. You just got to go out there tomorrow and execute and do what you got to do. I know you're upset. I know we've talked here tonight about the umpire. We've talked about what you did with runners in scoring position, a base running error, striking out the plate, guys going down 4 times. We've talked about it all. But, and I get it. As a fan, the wind would be out of your sails, right? Like, it's tough to battle back from what you're going to have to try to do. 100%. You've done it before. Who is the leader in that locker room that can look everybody in the face and say, all right, guys, gotta get going. Gotta get going. I think you can hit off Tennessee pretty well. I think that you're a better overall team than them. And if you execute and do the things that you need to do, then you're going to be fine. If you just play your game tomorrow, I think you'll be fine. If you struggle like you did again tonight and you can't execute the way that you did on Saturday, then you're going to struggle. And you potentially face going home. Thank you, Trey, for the super chat. Travis Butler says, your lineup, this is why we lost Cruz. Cruz was 0 for 3. White was 2 for 4. Morgan was 2 for 4. Beloso was 0 for 4. Beloso was, I guess Stravinsky was 0 for 4. I guess they gave him that error. Beloso was 1 for 3. Dugas was 0 for 2. Joe Bear 0 for 4. Thompson 0 for 4. Pearson 0 for 3. Yeah, the bottom half of your lineup struggled. Stravinsky, Beloso, Dugas, Joe Bear, Thompson, Pearson. I mean, you're 1 for, let's do 7, 8, 9, 13, 17, 20. Your bottom of the order went 1 for 20 tonight. But here's the thing. The bottom of their order did not do well at all either. So, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Stephen Lord, 499 via Super Chat says, we got this. Go Tigers. Thank you, Stephen, for the Super Chat, my man. I greatly do appreciate you sending it. Trey Patton with another 199 says, Jay says it more games are lost than won. That's true, and he's not wrong. And, I mean, he's in a tough situation. I mean, I don't blame him. I know I saw it on Twitter already. People blaming him for leaving in Floyd. But Floyd has had a proponent of getting himself out of those troubles, and Hurd did not do bad. Again, I'm okay with what you did on the mound tonight. Like, I'm 1,000% okay, because you took two guys in Kurtz, Wilkin, and Bennett, or three guys and Bennett, that have, what did they say tonight, guys? Like close to 75 total home runs combined between the three of them. 75. Okay? And you dominated them. Wilkin had the one RBI single. That was it. The bottom of their lineup did do some things for you. Make sure. Maybe Wilkin did have two RBIs. Let me double check. No, that was Lee, the catcher. Yeah, I wonder what. Remember when the third base coach called timeout on the 0-2 count? And that's another thing, though. If there's one thing that I'm going to criticize Hurd pretty heavily on, and Wes, let me throw this out there. I'm going to say something about Wes here now. Okay? And I've defended Wes on this program pretty heavily and will continue. Thatcher Hurd in the 8th got to 3 0-2 counts. 3. The first one, they went with the slider into the lefty. He hits a double down the right field wall. Okay, he left it a little high. Okay, whatever. But then Lee comes up. Not Lee. Who was it? Let me double check. It wasn't Lee, because Lee got the RBI single to win it. It was Corona that hit the double, and then Lee. It was Lee. It was Lee. Lee came up and saw 3 pitches. Fastball he whiffed on, and then a slider he took the opposite way. Excuse me. He pulled it in left field. Excuse me. Costello struck out. Houston struck out. I mean, they're whiffing on the fastball all inning long, dude. That's the small stuff. That's the small stuff. They got to be for what he's throwing on the off speed. They're loading up. Didn't touch it, guys. Did not even remotely come close. Jason Morgan with a $9.99 super chat says, my buddy just posted Floyd's 6th ball strike chart. There were 6 pitches dead middle of the zone that were called a ball. 6 more touched the outside edge of the zone called a ball. Jason, do me a favor, buddy. If you can, thank you so much for the super chat. My man's killing it in here tonight. Jason, can you please do me a favor and send that to me? Can you please do me a favor and send that to me? If he has it, can y'all send that? AYS Sports on Twitter. AYS Sports on Twitter. DM me, tell me, hey, Blake, this is my Twitter, and I'll follow you and send it to me. Jameis's leg says, Blake, when can Skeens pitch again? Game 2, or which will be game 3. Game 3 against Wake would be the only time that I think you could remotely throw him. Jordan, I don't know what you're talking about, bud. You talking to me? Jordan, I hadn't said anything to you. Go Tiger says that kid was from Tulane. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. All right, let me we just got sent this. Let's pull it up. Hold on. We got him. Somebody sent it to us. All right, let's pull this up. Here is the strike and let me see. All right, so it's Joe on Twitter. Look at this, dude. Look at this. So look at ball one. Can y'all see this? So this is Ty Floyd's pitch chart. So ball one hits the top right of the zone. Now ball two, that missed. Ball three, I mean, it's borderline. Strike looking, and then the fifth pitch, ball four, look where that hits. Like, where does that miss? So in case you're just joining us, this is the I guess what you'll call the K zone, but this is what a batter that Ty Floyd walked. I'm assuming this is Ty. He said walk two in the sixth. That was a K. So that was Ty Floyd's inning when he came in. So that should not have been a walk at all. All right, let's go to the next one. This is the second walk. Jesus H. Christ. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at both of them. This is not a ball. The first pitch is not a ball. I would concede the second and third pitch, but he takes a strike looking and the fourth pitch. And then where does the fourth ball, where does pitch 5 miss? Let's look at the second walk for Ty Floyd in the sixth inning. The first pitch on the outside corner, not a ball. Second pitch, I'll give you. Where does the third one miss? Like, where does the third pitch, where the F does that miss? Fourth pitch again, looking, and then look at the fifth pitch of the at-bat. Like, guys, that is only corner. Oh. That's the shit that really, and I'm talking about really, pisses me off. That really pisses me off. I can't. Listen, that's the shit that will keep me up at night. That's the shit that keeps me up at night. Trey Patton with the $4.99 via Super Chat says NCAA should be ashamed of what happened behind the plate. No question. No question. Especially with the great games we've had. Changing the strike zone on the fly. Thank you for the Super Chat. No question. Like, I can't fathom that. Like, I just cannot fathom doing that. Like, how is it that 300 plus teams in America, 300 plus teams in America have games every week throughout the regular season, and somehow, some way, you're like, what about this guy? He's really good. All that tells me is that you really, really are just picking favorites at that point. That guy should be fired. Not only should he be fired, I'm going to be, whoever runs baseball for the NCAA also should be fired. He also should probably be put in a Bayou prison. Toss Dive says it's hard to throw strikes when a pitcher doesn't know where the zone is. Ain't that the truth? Ross in all caps says you could not have asked for a better outing from Ty Floyd. No doubt. Chad, you got to get off the Dugas thing. Roy, because he also hit a home run for you that almost damn near clinched you a game. You got to get off of it. You have nobody else. You got to get off of the take, man. Got to get off of it, buddy. Cindy Mercer said the pitcher works so hard, and this is how they call it. I am ashamed of this happening on the biggest stage. It is insane. She's not wrong, y'all. She's not wrong. She is not wrong. Here's another one. Y'all want to see another one? Here's another one. For Ty Floyd, I would assume. This is on, so bottom of the sixth. That's another one. This is the first guy he walked. Foul ball, strike looking. Look at ball three. Look at the third pitch. Look at the third pitch. Look at this. So this is the first guy that comes up in the inning. Foul ball, strike looking. Look where number 3 is, y'all. It is literally in the heart of the plate. Look at ball 4. Again, if you want to call it a ball, I'll concede on that one. Foul ball. Look at pitch number 6. Guys, it is in the middle of the plate. Look at number 7. Foul ball. Look at number 8. It's also in the middle of the plate. Like, you can't, there are things that you can make up. I mean, y'all can see the green dot on here. Look at the green dots. Let me get a little bit closer. Let me get a little bit closer. I don't get it. It's in the heart of the plate. Oh my God. That's the shit. That's the shit that keeps me up at night. Matthew says, I sent you the DM on Facebook. Thank you. Nolan Strange says they need to put a preference clause or performance clause, excuse me. And these umpire, they do. They do. Nolan, they do. they do. 1,000% they have a performance clause. He said they should get fined or negative ratings and so many unable to ump or ref for championships for 3 years. At least postseason play. Like that guy, I mean, guys, you just saw it. Like, you just saw it. Like, there's nothing else I don't know what to say. I simply don't know what to say. In somewhat of Jason sends Jason Wyrick on YouTube. Thank you so much, buddy, for the $4.99 via Super Chat. He says that's wild. They should be ashamed. I'm not familiar with that technology. How accurate is it? It's ESPN's K Zone. So like what you would see on like Sunday Night Baseball, like it's 98% accurate, 99% accurate. 99. I mean, even if you missed one of them, even if it's still 99% accurate. Why don't they put it on the TV? You want to know why they don't put it on the TV screen? Let me tell you why they don't put it on the TV screen. Because these guys suck so bad, they know that you will lose your collective mind. They know that you will lose your collective mind. Football news, Marcus Maskell, the offensive lineman, committed to Florida. I'm not worried. You have dudes that you're going and probably going to get it for the offensive line. Not worried about Brian Kelly recruiting. You're locking down the stake. You got Dominic McKinley, Wardell Mack. Long way to go. Football season's not even here. You got people on this beat freaking out. Oh, my God, we can't recruit. Oh, my God, my vagina hurts. Oh, you're missing out on big recruits. I thought 3-star recruits weren't big recruits. By the way, if you're subscribed to recruiting services and you got guys on there not from this state saying you're missing out on big recruits, I'm just going to tell you, number one, the truth is, even though he's come after me on Twitter before, I know for a fact, you know for a fact, there's been people on Twitter that have said it for a fact, my man don't be up there talking to people. Number two, you're not getting big recruits. What in the outright fuck do you call a 5-star defensive lineman from the state of Maryland coming in here? What do you call Harold Perkins? What do you call Shelton Sampson and Jalen Brown? Please tell me, what in the outright fuck do you call Lance Hurd? Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You've never known what you're talking about. You go out here on these fucking recruiting services and keep saying, oh, you missed on big recruits. No, the fuck we didn't. Time to grow the fuck up and grow some goddamn balls. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. That would have been cool the way it ended it like that, but I can't end it like that. I can't end it like that. But I read your stupid shit on Twitter. Here's what the media doesn't want to tell you. To the 285, actually, no, that's the 3. To the 385 that's still in here, let me tell you the truth. You want to know the truth? We have on Twitter 20,414 followers. On Facebook, it's 14,000 followers. Let me tell you something. Here's the truth. We see every comment that you send to us. I see the same shit you see. When you send it to us, we see it. Okay? If you want to go out here and talk about recruiting, and you want to put down on a staff that you do not talk to, it's on you. Jeff, I'm sorry. Saying the F word does not mean you need to grow up. Sorry, bud. Sorry. Go to Whiskey and Wine. I don't care. Dane Bergeron said, hey, Blake, I'm drunk and pissed off. It was being a long time since I wanted to knock the hell out of an official, but the officiating College World Series has been the worst I've seen in college baseball. College World Series. I agree. We'll end on that. See you tomorrow night. Post game. Peace.